So we have the UCO Stormproof Match Kit today, and I thought I'd show you the packaging first. It says it stays lit no matter what. So there are tons of these videos all over the internet, so I'm not going to bore you with what you get or what you don't get, or what. I'm just going to kind of show you what I use them for. So here's a quick little overview. You have an exposed striking surface. Now they do give you extras in here. They also give you a little cotton in the lid. They pack 25 matches in here, which can be a bear to get out. Ugh, those are in there nice and tight. And they also give you extra, if I can get them out of here, they give you 2 extra strike pads. So I like these, but they tend to be really bulky. What I use them for is when I have a fire kit that doesn't seal. So this is eventually going to become a char cloth tin, and you know, it just doesn't seal against the elements. So something that has an O-ring, as you can tell this does, something like that would work very well in here, but it takes up a lot of space in your kit. So these don't burn that much. You know, there are 25 of them, but they only burn for, I believe they say they burn for 15 seconds. Yeah, it burns to up to 15 seconds. So to me, that's a lot of real estate for not that much payoff. I would rather carry 2 or 3 Bic lighters. But these are nice because of this feature right here. So if we seal this bad boy up, and then we strike it, or we actually, better yet, I can get it soaking wet, right? And then I can, and they still burn. That's pretty impressive. And then it should pop back on, and it does just like that. That is pretty impressive, right? So, you know, they're good at what they do. The problem is that you saw how long that lasted. 15 seconds is not a lot of time. So if you're going to run these UCO matches, you had better have all your tinder and all your fuel wood and everything ready to go. So all I did was empty out the contents of this guy and made 3 little packets of 8, with each one with their own little striker. So not only do they flat pack, but they're still relatively waterproof. It's not as good as an O-ring sealed hard container, but it's also not as bulky. So you can see how much less space these were to take up, right? So that's kind of what I did, right? You can also divvy it up if you have multiple people in your camping trip or your party or your 4-H group or your Boy Scout troop or whatever. You can then give one to one kid, one to another kid, one to the wife, whatever. And that way, should someone lose their pack, lose their fire kit, whatever, you haven't lost all your resources. But this is just a really nice way to use these matches, I think, to divvy them up and to make them not take up so much space. Now this guy right here, you could still use it. I would not throw this away. It's a nice hard container. I actually would put wax and cotton balls in this guy. Or you can put, you know, you can put the matches and use them as it was intended. But this guy, if you have the space, if it's no big deal, if it's going in your cabin or your, I don't know, your truck kit, or, you know, your bug-in box instead of your bug-out bag, right? If you're not worried about space, then definitely go with this option. If you are worried about space, go with something like this. So, what do I think of the UCO Stormproof matches? Well, it solves the biggest problem with matches, which is you can get them wet and they'll still function. Snow, rain, sleet, really doesn't matter. Canoeing, dump them in the lake, it literally doesn't matter. They will work. The bad part, or the cons, are that this guy's bulky. Now, it's nice and high vis, but it's bulky. And it is waterproof, but it's bulky, right? Any type of fire kit you put this in is going to take up a lot of space. Now, they're not heavy, they just are big. You also only get a limited number, right? You get 25, and they only last for about 15 to 18 seconds. So if you don't have everything ready, you're going to be in trouble. And then the last thing that I'm not crazy about is this striker is on the outside of the container. There are some companies out there, I believe the Zippo brand matches, they are under a cap, which is better. Now, they have thought ahead and they have given you extra ones of these in case you get them soaking wet and they fall apart. Because after all, they're just on cardboard. So those are my cons. It's big, they don't last very long, and of course, the striker's on the outside. And they're expensive. You can, for the price of this kit, you could probably buy 3, maybe 2 or 3 Bic lighters and have literally hundreds, if not thousands, of fires that you could start with that. So nothing's perfect, right? Bics run out of fuel, they break. There's a finite number, so nothing's perfect. So that's why you got to carry more than one type in your kit. So there are like 6 ways of starting fires in this kit, and that's the way your mentality should be. It should be, if this fails, what do I go to? And if that fails, what do I go to, right? So it should be triple redundancy. That's, after all, how we got to the moon, right? So have that kind of NASA thought pattern in your head that you really need 3s of everything. And I tend to have 3s and 3s, right? So I tend to have like 6s of things if it doesn't take up a lot of room and a lot of space. Now, what I would do with these, I think, is I would pack them down into Ziploc bags with one striker and split them up, right? So that they're still waterproof, but they're flatter packing. That's probably how I'll run these. But yeah, they're not bad. They make bigger ones. They make I believe they make a Titan one that's really big. It burns a little bit longer, but again, it's bigger. So everything's kind of a trade-off. So I encourage you to get out there and play with these and add some to your kit. It really can't hurt, particularly if you, like I said, downsize them and put them in a smaller container. That way they don't take up so much room in your kits. So as always, if you like these type of videos, please do me a huge favor. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. And as always, be safe and be good.